Smudge mudging video demonstration part 4. Making this pot brand new and being able to use again. Okay, that's 60. 60, where are we at with the, minute in? That's 60 grit. Now, where were we? Okay, next. 80 grit. Third solid random orbital abrasive in that process. Notice how the further you go, the less is involved. Your first initial step, whether you started out at 60 or 40 grit, would take longer. Very much like an aluminum alloy wheel on a big truck. that was 80. Where we're at now. Now we're at 100. 100 grit. Again, when you're doing this, just like with wood, you want to try and place the holes so it funnels through it. Which reminds me, this needs to be dumped out. I'll be right back. Like I keep saying, I don't have good editing on the video, so the quality of the video might not be that great, even though I'm at 720 DPI, which is a pretty high resolution. But I see very few other people providing this kind of content. It is rare. But I'm trying to show you from the alpha to the omega. All the way through. Not this way. That way. Okay, we're at 100 grit now. As you go faster and faster, as you go a higher and higher grit, you need to slow down until ultimately when you get to, say, 1,000, any above 800 or 1,000, possibly even a little less than that at 600, you might just go by hand because it'll be used up very quickly. Big shout out to the guy that goes with the YouTube channel, 65 Ford. Last night he had a whole good informative video on how to increase the current level and amperage of different batteries and power tools. And that's a major help to the do-it-yourself community. Big time. What's difficult to do that I'm being a little bit lazy and don't want to go further with is into these corners. I'm trying to go by hand. It is possible, if that's sitting around me, that air operated 90-degree angle. Yeah. This right here, and I may demonstrate that later on at a later time in order to go inside, but I don't really, you know what, I'll do it. Otherwise it defeats the whole purpose of why I'm making these videos. Portability and your ability and how far you can reach duplicating the actions of your hands with a machine. That's a secret right there. You operate this off of air, half-inch. Don't be like me and let the thing get dirty. Get in there on the sides and you go in there. You also want to get down around here and put that back. Important things to know about Harbor Freight tools. Some of the stuff they got is amazing. Some of it is absolute crap. Some of it is halfway in between. If you subscribe to the Den of Tools, Red Bear, he can tell you all about it. Generally, their sales work in cycles. And most people, if and when someone complains about that, they're being immature, they're being babies. Not always. How far are we into this? I'm going to go no more than about a half hour piece. 15 minutes. About halfway. Who's this? Careful that if you get too close to something, you can accidentally chip the ends off of the sandpaper or the solid media. See, like I was talking with that sander, that grind down, I'm doing this by hand, which I believe I can get it pretty close, even without that. The alternative to what I'm doing is vibratory tumbling, or rotary tumbling. Like you could buy at Harbor Freight. If you've got the tumbling media that the whole thing vibrates in, it's like having a crystal ball, but the crystals are inside the ball. And it sits there for a while, and then they make it look new, if you got enough room to fit it. But you're not going to fit, what you're not going to be able to do is fit something this big into one of those vibratory tumblers. Or God forbid something of such appreciable size. You'll be able to fit small pieces. If you ever watched, what was it, how stuff works and how it's made on the Science Channel. Sometimes, like Snap-on Tools or something like that, they'll show this big expletive $12,000 vibratory tumbling machine with feet in it on the ground holding it to vibrate like that washing machine over there. Man, imagine what that costs. And the amount of both voltage, electrical current, power, and watts that you would need in order to do it. You stay tuned, keep watching. If and when you want to skip ahead, you move from the left to the right of the board and skip ahead, and you'll know how to do it. Just like I'm doing right here, right now. Part of another little invention I'm literally trying to come up with. That's 100. Okay, now we're on to next now. Where are we at? 120 grit. Here we are. Right there. Yeah. Just like the other ones. Set this onto here, like this, so you can see the holes. Also for uh-oh, went the opposite way. That's embarrassing. Now we're at 120 grit. Where are we at on the time? The video. 20, about 24 and a half minutes. Maybe a little give or take. Maybe a little longer. Maybe a little less. That's another thing. You gotta like make sure that you center it into the pad properly. Start getting out of whack. Now this time, half hour, okay. And that part.